The 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson, and it is my pleasure to be with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Moments away, it'll be the Indiana Pacers going up against the Chicago Bulls. Last outing for Chicago, they ended up with a win against Portland. That game was a dominant performance. Always nice to win one going away, but it's just one game, and they'll be ready to go tonight.
Welcome, fans. Thanks for joining us for this Friday night edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg. Well, it was the Indiana Pacers winning their last game against the Wizards in Washington.
And Kevin, you know, they showed how important it is to have a strong bench. I mean, when you are on the road, that depth is vital. I think they really utilized the second unit to extend their offensive assault and just really wore down their opponent.
And guys, I think what you saw from them throughout the game was teamwork. This is a team. Regardless of who was out there on the floor at any given time, they got it done. And that has to make you feel good as a group.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. So the Bulls 5 right now. Rose is the 1 with Butler as the 2. Andre Drummond is out there with Pau Gasol. And it's Wright in at the 3.
And one bright note for the Pacers last season was the play of their bench. Adding Rodney Stuckey was a huge boost for them.
Now here is Hill. He had 10 points in the win against the Wizards in Washington. Kicks it out to Allen. They set the pick, and a wide open look here for Ellis. The pick gave him all the room he needed, and he knocks down the J.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Hill kicks to George. Tries from 10, and it's Hill. That time the assist by George.
Wow, risky shot there size-wise, but the incredible skill that he possesses allows that one to go.
Well, the quick high release negated any height disadvantage he had right there.
Now here's Rose, coming off a solid outing against Portland. And the call will be against George Hill. That's his first foul.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
And here in the first, closing in on 2 minutes play. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. And that one's good.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
The Pacers have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for to start off this game. Down low, here's Hill. Can't hit. Good D by Drummond.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Fred Hoiberg. What'd you find out, DB?
Kevin, we talked at length about how they plan to contain this excellent offensive ball club. He said, you know, our opponent changes, but our principles stay relatively constant. It's all about denying the high percentage shots, the layups, free throws, and open three-pointers. If they're hitting contested jump shots, you just have to tip your hat to them. Kevin, a sound strategy.
All right, Doris, they're probably well aware of the firepower they're up against here.
You know, it sounds like it. I mean, their coach knows how tough it is to slow this team down, and he wants to make sure his guys understand that as well.
Yeah, I guarantee he got his point across when prepping them for this one. He focused clearly on their absolute toughest effort defensively.
Bulls made the postseason for the 10th time in their last 11 seasons. Last year, they have become a fixture, Greg, in the playoffs in the East.
And how about last season, Kevin, had that interdivision matchup in their first round against the up-and-coming Bucks. Some hiccups for them in that series, but they were able to prevail.
For Chicago, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Butler passes to Rose. On baseline, Jay. That drops. Rose has got his second bucket of the night.
Boy, in that playoff series against the Bucks, the Bulls looked like they were primed for an upset as they started slowly, eventually pulled it together, and came in as the underdogs against the Cavs.
Now, here's George. 20 points for him last game against the Wizards in Washington.
And the Cavs knocked out the Bulls in 6 games. Bulls went up 2-1 in the series, but didn't have an answer for LeBron. Strong effort from the Bulls, though, but they just couldn't match the firepower of the Cavs.
And George drops them both.
And we all know about Paul George and his injury while with Team USA. I mean, he has still said that he would consider playing international ball.
Now here's Wright. He's coming off a 10-point game against Portland. Hill gets the rebound.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Hill kicks to Allen from 15 feet away, and that one comes up a bit short. For George to be eager to go back and represent the U.S. in international play is a brave move.
Yeah, I think, Kevin, a lot of it might be that he just wants to put that in the past and move on. And sometimes you do that best by confronting things head on. The only way to have that be the past is to keep playing for his country.
And here is Hill, following the three-pointer by Derrick Rose. The drive by Hill, and he gets it to go. Hill's got his second bucket.
Really nice way to get your first bucket of the day.
Hill against Rose. Excellent D there from George. Last game for the Bulls, they picked up the W against the Trailblazers in Portland.
And you know what? Exactly what had to be done in terms of winning on the road. Never allowed any momentum to build up against them. Kept the crowd out of the game. And for every punch they took, they had a counter.
I was very impressed, Greg, with the way they stood their ground, even when they were on their heels some, coming through those moments where they were backing up a bit. That's what it takes on the road. You got to show that kind of fortitude and resilience.
And that one's good.
And he just big-boyed it right there. The height advantage he's got down low, really difficult for them to defend.
Hill kicks to Ellis. Pick up by Hill. Allen dishes to Hill. And here's George for three. Good. The assist goes to Hill. And that's now 7 points for Paul George.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Rose passes to Gasol. And it's sent back by Hill. Outside Hill. Pass to Ellis. Pick up by Hill. And it's Ellis penetrating. Second shot opportunity. And the layup good by Hill. Hill's got his first points of the night.
The tenacity on that interior, just battling, bringing that effort and will for second chance points.
Rose against Hill. Shoots from 14. Offensive rebound. Drummond. He dents the rim with a two-handed slam. Wow.
This guy is a beast on the board.
And when he gets those second chance points, GA, he does not waste one of them.
And you know what? It's always going to be a powerhouse finish with him. We know that for sure.
Goes back up. Butler with the steal. They've got the 5-on-3 advantage. Hill pulls it in. For Indiana, they've gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the first quarter. And George, here we go. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. Indiana making some changes. Turner comes in for Allen. Rodney Stuckey subbed in for Monte Ellis.
And guys, no doubt George Hill had it rough last season. He missed the first 28 games with that left knee injury. Came back for 5, then missed another 11 games before his season got going. But you know what? He had one of his most productive years from that point on.
And Chicago has possession, trailing by 4. And Miles kicks to Clarkson. To the paint, deflects the pass, and that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession. And getting back to George Hill, what a second half of the season he had. He tore up several key categories, Clark.
Yeah, he was bogged down by injuries early in the season. Came back to average career highs in points, rebounds, and assists, partly because he was finally treated and looked to as a go-to guy, and he thrived in that role. Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
And Turner kicks to Stuckey. They set the pick. Just 5 on the clock. And here's Hill for 3. No good. And it's Chicago the other way. Clarkson with the ball. He's picked up by Hill. Here's Splitter. Kicks it to Miles. Mirotic dishes to Gibson. Miles the pass to Mirotic. On its way from Gibson for 2. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. Indiana's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. For 3, Hill. The rebound by Gibson. Now Chicago's gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. And Mirotic has it in the corner. Clarkson kicks to Splitter. And another shot. And it's good on the way in. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, but neither team really able to jump ahead.
It reminds me of that cameo song, Back and Forth.
Now here's Stuckey. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. For 3, Dunleavy. Chicago grabs the miss. Their last encounter was in Chicago.
And that was a stinker. I mean, that's one of those games where you really can't find anything that they did well. The game just got out of hand and really just a shaky performance across the board.
Yeah, and I'd have to agree with you. And you know how optimistic and positive I am. But it's hard for me to find anything positive to take away from that. That's a game you just want to forget about as soon as you can.
And he gets it to go.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Splitter with a screen on Hill. Gibson dishes to Mirotic. Puts it up from 15. The rebound by Turner.
He's got to be disappointed with himself on that one. He has got to knock those down.
Turner with a screen on Mirotic. Hill passes to Turner. Pick up by Hill. Shot on the wing, and Splitter pulls it down.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Splitter with a screen on Hill. Clarkson kicks to Splitter. Off the left rim and out. Splitter's gone 1 of 3 shooting so far. Hill dishes to Dunlap. It's back to Hill. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. Hill's got 6.
They are really doing a nice job establishing a presence inside early.
And watch, Clark, how the game plays out, because this is going to open things up on the perimeter.
Chicago calls timeout. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
The Pacers making a switch here. Buddinger's checked in, and Chicago also making a switch. Mahimi's checked in for Splitter. 1:49 left in the first quarter of the game. Clarkson with the ball. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 11 points a game. Mahimi's shot is good. Mahimi's got his first points of the game.
Uh-oh, a little showboating at the end of that one.
Stuckey kicks to Dunleavy. They set the screen. Budinger, the pass to Stuckey. Budinger sets the screen for Stuckey. For three, Dunleavy can't hit. Now Chicago takes it the other way. Last season, the Bulls were a tough matchup, solid margin of victory for them, and never looked overwhelmed, Clark.
Yeah, you know what? They're a team that's even-keeled, the type of team that can win anytime they take the floor. They have a system that works and good talent, that actually excellent talent to make it special, and that combination is a winning one.
Here's Budinger after the basket by Nikola Mirotic. Stolen by Clarkson. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Here is Miles. He's guarded by Stuckey. The dish to Clarkson. Mirotic, a screen on Budinger. Clarkson kicks to Mirotic. Passes it to Mahimi. 4 on the clock. Lets the three fly. And the Bulls, another three. There's 21 seconds left here in the first quarter. Now here's Stuckey. He's covered by Clarkson. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense. For Indiana, they have yet to miss from the free throw line. They're 3 for 3.
And in terms of team numbers, the free throw percentage is right at 74.
You know, the numbers from the line, guys, are close to where they were last year, but just a tad worse, so not too bad.
Stuckey up top to the wing right side. Near the three-point line, it's Dunleavy. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Bulls lead by 5. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. Looking at what we've seen from the Bulls, what do you guys think?
It's all about the depth. Really, the bench has been the difference. The bench play really has separated these two teams.
Yeah, it's been a huge advantage for them. That bench has really made a nice contribution.
Taking a look at the Bulls, we've got Brooks. Jimmy Butler is out there with Pau Gasol. And it's Rose, and it's Mahimi in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for Chicago.
They've definitely had a hot hand from three-point range. Always nice to get off to a good start.
They've established their presence in the paint tonight. Also, a lot of their scoring to this point coming from down low.
And the Bulls making a change here. Drummond's checked in. And Allen drops them both. Well, the Pacers, despite all their injuries from last season, were right in the playoff hunt until the very end. Had a chance, in fact, GA, on the last day to sneak in, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, they needed a Brooklyn loss to go along with them winning that last game. Ultimately, though, it wasn't in the cards for them, and they ended a game out of the postseason.
Just 5 to shoot. With his first shot attempt, that one off the back iron and out.
And that was a difficult shot from mid-range simply because the defense was engaged.
Yeah, and I think the quickness of the closeout really threw him off. And, you know, the Pacers had made the playoffs in each of the last 4 seasons prior to last year's miss. Hard for a team that was coming off of back-to-back conference finals appearances to stomach that. But with the injuries, they'll be better and back in the playoffs next year, I'm sure.
Ellis goes in and unable there to get the go-ahead bucket.
And once he had to change his shot in the face of the D, you just had a feeling that one wasn't going to fall.
Here's Rose. Nice teamwork to set up the big play and make the space for the J.
And really, it's going to be more of a reload than a rebuild situation for the Pacers. You would have to imagine their goal isn't just to get back to the playoffs, but to get back to being a conference final participant.
Here's Rose, following the score by Miles Turner. Gasol dishes to Drummond, and he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
Now here's Buttinger. Feeds to George. Inside, here's Ellis. The shot will not go. Rose with some nice D.
He's giving them little to nothing at the offensive end. I can't put it any other way.
From 11 feet away, excellent D there from George.
He operates well in traffic, but still, that's just a tough play to finish.
Allen against Gasol. Allen passes to Ellis. Allen with the screen for Ellis. Ellis can't get that one to fall either.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense.
Well, he gets it in close, but you have to credit that stifling defense for forcing the miss.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, defense like that really increases the degree of difficulty on that shot by a large amount.
Rose kicks to Gasol. Brooks outside. Drummond sets the screen for Brooks. There's the pass to Rose. Good-looking screen by Gasol. And it's Rose penetrating. Can't get it to go.
And boy, has he been struggling big time here in the quarter.
Yeah, he's played tight. I mean, you can see it. No flow at all to his game right now.
Now Ellis. He's coming off a 19-point game against Washington. Drummond working against Buttinger. Here's George, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two. Let's bring out the 2K leaderboard to see the best up-tempo teams in the league. The Bulls third.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the athletes to run the break all game long, so that's their edge. They're always looking to take advantage.
That one is off.
You know, and Paul George played the first few years of his career in the NBA with 24 on his back. And as you can see, he now goes with 13 after making the switch prior to last year.
George Hill's checked in for the Pacers. Splitter's checked in for the Bulls. Wright comes in for Brooks. And with Paul George going with the number 13 now, as you can see, helps with his nickname, PG-13.
Yeah, that's a good nickname, a nice fit. Young Tracy, as he likes to go by on Twitter, he said himself that it was about embracing his stature and stardom in the league. Nice way to do it.
Here's Hill, following the score by Derrick Rose. And here is Hill. He has 6. And George, here we go. That one goes in for him too, making it look easy. He's now 4 for 4.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Wright dishes to Drummond. Drummond the screen. Butler against Ellis. Splitter sets a screen for Rose. The teardrop falls in. Rose has got 6 here in this quarter.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the floater.
Hill kicks to Ellis. Lets it go from 11. Chicago grabs the miss.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Drummond the screen. Hill against Rose. And Allen with the block. But they recover it. Here's Butler. Here's Drummond. It's stolen by Hill. He dishes it to George. Turner with a screen on Butler. George against Butler. And George, here we go. He used that pick to get in close. George has got 15 points.
Some guys will try to overpower you at the rim, but he likes to elude you and trick you. He's got quickness and a soft touch.
Now here's Rose. He's got 13. one is hammered home.
Now, this is why the breakaway rim was invented, for plays just like that.
Well, he almost brought the whole thing down, Clark, by hanging on that long.
Yeah, he did.
I tell you what, though, great dunk, and this is even a better game we got going on right now.
Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. Look at Indiana. They're sixth best right now, looking to make a move up in the standings. And, of course, Chicago, a half game back.
Yeah, but checking out Chicago, that big splash they were hoping for to start the season just never evolved. I mean, they're stuck there in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, and frankly, I would have been surprised if they had gotten off to a hot start. I mean, I don't see a whole lot that leads me to believe they can be an upper echelon team.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Turner. Dunleavy comes in for George. Rodney Stuckey subbed in for Monte Ellis. Now, here is Hill. 6 points for him. Shoots. And Splitter pulls it down.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Now, here's Clarkson. Inside. Looking for Splitter. He gets it there.
A moment now to see the numbers for Stuckey. Getting around 12 points a game, 6 assists, and 2 rebounds. And every team in the league needs shooting. That's what he brings coming off the pine.
Yeah, there's always a demand for shooters, man. Have jumper, will travel. I'm telling you. Most championship teams, they have a bunch of those guys who can put it in the basket. You know, the Pacers ended up in 4th place in the Central Division last year, guys, and that's not quite what they were used to after taking the division the previous 2 years and getting to the Eastern Conference Finals in the playoffs.
Mirotic is checked in for Chicago. Good on both. So it's the Pacers now. 4-point game. Well, they've got the Lakers ahead of them after this game, and their next game it'll be played in Los Angeles. That sets in motion a 4-game road trip for them. Outside Hill. And there's the feed to Dunleavy. Shot clock at 5. Lets it fly. Not enough on that one as it misses. Looking at last year with the Pacers, with Paul George out, the Pacers knew it would be tough to win the Central again. And they still played decently, though, going 8-8 in divisional games.
And the Pacers played admirably. I mean, the division just got a lot tougher. If the Pacers bounce back, you can easily see 4 of the Central Division members making the playoffs in the near future.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior. They've established their inside presence.
Now, here is Hill. He's got 6. Dishes it to Dunleavy. Good. The assist goes to Hill. Dunleavy's got his second basket of the night.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Here is Miles. Splitter passes to Miles. Poked away. It's taken away by Stuckey. Stolen by Miles. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
I'm not sure who was supposed to be on him that possession. I mean, apparently neither did the defenders.
Outside Hill to the right side. Hill, a screen on Mirotic. Dunleavy kicks to Hill. And no good. Trying to use the glass. The Bulls leading by 5. Clarkson with the ball. He's picked up by Hill. Mirotic, a screen on Hill. Clarkson kicks to Mirotic. It's rebounded by Indiana. Hill's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Outside Hill. Floats one. Knocked away. Gibson with the steal. Now, here's Clarkson. Guarded closely. That's good. Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. And for most of his career, Taj Gibson has been a tremendous role player up front. He's been extremely steady over 6 full seasons.
And Kevin, he gives you a lot of energy and athleticism when he enters the game. He's got the great length with that 7'4" wingspan. But to me, it's not just about having it. It's about the fact that he utilizes it, and it really allows him to get in there and attack the backboard and contest shots.
Mahinmi's checked in for Splitter. Pacers trail by 7. Hill kicks to Stuckey. Pick up by Hill. Pass to Dunleavy. Off the screen. And good coming on the assist by Rodney Stuckey. Dunleavy's got 5 points now this quarter.
Yeah, you know, talking about Gibson, he started 70 games his first year and made the all-rookie team. But thereafter, had been mostly a 6-man off the bench through last season. It happens, but it's still somewhat unusual for a guy to go backwards like that.
The offensive rebound, and the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a 3-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You got to get your body between that other player and the ball.
And talking about Gibson, if he ever wants to be seen as a high-level starter, he needs to work on a few things. More bankable moves in the post, more fluid post game, if you will, and really increased strength and consistency. I think those things will carry him to that starting five.
Here's Stuckey following the score by Taj Gibson. Pick up by Hill. Stuckey up top. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Washington.
And he also was a table setter in that game, Kevin. Just an amazing job with his passing. Just a joy to watch that.
Now here's Gibson. They lead by 4. Clarkson with the ball. He's picked up by Hill, and it's Miles missing. Indiana's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Pick up by Hill. They set the pick. Stuckey kicks to Dunleavy. Another shot. He takes it up and lays it in. Allen's got 4 points this quarter.
Guys, he's actually indefatigable. He never gives in, never gives up on a play, and that's what it takes to be a great offensive rebounder. You've got to be relentless.
Now here's Gibson. Hill pulls it in. Hill's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Stuckey into the lane. Allen outside. Hill dishes to Allen, and he comes off the screen and slams it through.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
Here is Miles. Here's Clarkson. And again, Chicago. No good. It's a tie game in Indiana. And don't go away.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. An outstanding first quarter for Paul George. He ended up with 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. And Kenny, what'd you think about what we saw from Indiana?
They're playing with a sense of urgency, even though they're at home. Sometimes you feel so comfortable on your home court, the other team can jump on you. But they know these fans have their back, and now they're well positioned to build a lead in the second half.
And Shaq, what'd you think about Chicago?
Well, how about that contribution they got from the bench? Nice. Those are some much-needed points, and it keeps them right in the game. I wouldn't be surprised to see him dig a little deeper into that bench. Some games you just got to go with the lineups that are working and just improvise, Ernie.
And that's it for halftime as the second half is just about to get underway. See you after the game.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. You look at Paul George in this game, guys, he's been everywhere.
I know we've said this many times before, but what a great first half. Just an offensive juggernaut.
And, you know, in the end, I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about what a great second half he had, guys. I mean, he can usually keep it going for all 4 quarters.
Hill is out there with Allen. Then it's Paul George. Then it's Ellis. And it's Hill in at the 1 spot. That's the Pacers 5. Now here is Hill. Just 4 to shoot. For the lead. And Wright pulls it down.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
Here's Rose. Nice shot from the wing. Rose has got the first points of the third quarter up on the board for the Bulls. Indiana trailing here. Hill left side. Allen passes to George. Rejected by Gasol. Allen kicks to George. Allen with his screen for George. Over Gasol. A nice shot by George. George has got the game tied up here for the Pacers.
And those are two teammates right there working in rhythm. One setting the screen and the other using it to get that separation.
There's a good screen. Rose dishes to Gasol. Here's Drummond. Chicago shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Really hasn't come together for them as a group in terms of free throw shooting, just around 70% on the season.
And guys, you know what? That's made things hard for them in a lot of their games. I mean, that inability to convert their chances at the free throw line.
No good on the second free throw.
And injuries once again were a central theme of the Bulls season last year. Losing Rose was one thing, but then having Jimmy Butler lose a lot of time put them in such a tough spot.
There's PG creating for a teammate. Terrific dime drop.
Rose kicks to Gasol. Back to Rose. Out left to the wing. And Pau Gasol, the bucket on the assist by Rose. Gasol's got his second basket. And for the Bulls and injuries, a lot of teams plan for these type of things. There's only so much Clark you can do to mitigate losing your starting backcourt.
But I tell you, great respect and admiration for the Bulls for how they fought through the difficulty. I mean, their front court did what they could. The injuries, once again, I thought turned the Bulls from championship contenders to just a playoff team.
Chicago's gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. Drummond in the post, defended by Allen. Puts up the baby hook, and it's Drummond missing. Pacers have gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. Pass to Hill. Some nice passing here by Indiana. Butler against Ellis. He feeds it to Allen. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. Andre Drummond picks one up.
And the Pacers just missed out on the playoffs last year and would have to settle for 9th in the East. Hard for a team that has been so dominant in the East over recent seasons.
Pacers have gone 7 of 9 from the free throw line tonight. And for the Pacers against the East, they actually played the rest of the conference, Greg, very well. Ended with a 28-24 record, Clark, against the East.
The only team, Kevin, in the East with a winning record against the rest of the conference not to make the playoffs. Only went 10-19 against the playoff teams in the conference.
Chicago calls timeout. Paul George really making a difference here.
He's definitely rolling offensively. You might not be able to stop him, but you've got to find a way to contain him.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Kevin, I was able to hear the advice Frank Vogel gave to his team during that last break. He made it clear that their offense needed to run through Paul George. Coach emphasized getting him as many touches as possible, saying he is going to be one of the guys to carry us the rest of the way. Probably a good time to make some changes with a good chunk of the second half still to go, Kevin.
And thanks for that story, Doris. Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Turner with the steal. Ellis outside. He kicks it to Hill. Here's the screen. Screen by Ellis. Hill passes to Hill. It's back to Hill, and it's thrown down hard with both hands.
You know, he's not your typical NBA center in terms of height, guys, but he plays as big as any of them. thanks to his incredible bounceability.
Now here's Rose. He's got 17. Gasol dishes to Butler, launches it. Paul George grabs the miss. George has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Hill a screen on Rose. And George kicks to Ellis. For 3. Can't get it to go. And it's Chicago the other way. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Here's Drummond. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rose has got 3 assists now in this one.
And bullseye with that assist. Nice delivery there in traffic.
Now here is Hill. 8 points for him. George double teamed. Lets it go from deep. And Hill is good for 3. Hill's got 11.
It took a long time for him to get that first triple. Let's see now, though, if he can get going.
Rose passes to Wright. Gasol kicks to Drummond. Gasol a screen. The dish to Butler. That doesn't go either for Butler. Indiana leading by 5. Ellis goes in. It's stolen by Rose. And it's Wright atop the key. Here's Gasol and Turner with the block. Hill with it. And Rose picks him up defensively. Butler against Ellis. It's back to Hill. 6 to shoot. Can't get it to go. Gasol with the defensive effort. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
And the basket good. Gasol's got 4 this quarter. Indiana leading. Outside Hill. Ellis with the screen for Hill. It's up a 3. Chicago grabs the miss. Drummond, a bit of a disappointing season last year. Not so much in play, but people wanted to see a bigger leap from him. Now, his numbers are still pretty jaw-dropping, but I think he's got so much there to give.
He has a lot of potential, Kevin. And listen, I don't think his play was bad. He just had such huge expectations to live up to. I mean, player development is not a straight line, and it would have been very hard to have him take another huge leap forward. Sometimes you have that sophomore jinx. And I'm expecting a big year from him this season.
And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for Indiana.
Fantastic passing. We saw it in the first half, and it's carried over here in the second.
I've been impressed with how well they've penetrated tonight, too.
Chase Budinger, he's checked in for Indiana. Stuckey comes in for Hill, then for the Bulls. Splitter comes in for Drummond. And Brooks subbed in for Wright. Budinger against Butler. Indiana moving the ball around. Stuckey into the lane. On the wing, Ellis. The unblocked. Here's the 3. And it's good. Ellis has got the lead up to 5 now for the Pacers. Chicago has gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Rose kicks to Butler. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Butler's got his first 2 points of the night.
They're on fire from mid-range, guys. They found a weakness in the defense, and they're exploiting it to a T.
And it's not often you see a team as efficient from that short 17, as I like to call it, but it's really worked well for them today.
Now here's Ellis. 5 points in the game. Just 5 to shoot. And George, here we go. Can't connect from 13 feet out.
I tell you what, the defense should send Christmas cards for that miss.
Brooks outside. Splitter sets a screen. Floats one up. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Some good defense in the NBA, so let's check out the leaders. Number 1, the Bulls.
Points allowed is one of the key indicators for good defensive effort. And this team does a nice job because they force opponents into tough shots. They don't allow easy shots. They're all on the same page. They're aggressive. They're focused. They pay attention to detail. And for 48 minutes, they're going to make their opponents uncomfortable.
Two shots.
That free throw missing.
And no doubt last season the Bulls were clearly preparing for the playoffs. They played their rookies but added a lot of playoff seasoned veterans to that roster.
Mike Dunleavy, he's checked in for Paul George. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Taj Gibson's checked in for Gasol. Mirotic comes in for Jimmy Butler. C.J. Miles, he's checked in for Brooks. And it's Clarkson in for Derrick Rose. As you mentioned, the Bulls added veteran leaders last season. Pau Gasol was the notable one. 11 Bulls Clark had playoff experience prior to their postseason run a season ago.
And that's invaluable, Kevin, to have that kind of experience. I mean, having Gasol, two-time champion in the locker room, big, as is having almost a dozen guys who understand the intensity and the details that playoff basketball requires.
Bulls trail by 4. And Miles kicks to Clarkson and taken away by Ellis. Drops in the breakaway layup. Ellis has got 5 points now this quarter.
And with that speed, once he took off, the D just had no chance of getting back.
Well, I think they did the right thing. I mean, just give up the 2 points and move forward. Hey, discretion is the better part of valor sometimes. Write that one down, game players. Discretion is the better part of valor.
Indiana leading by 4. Kicks it to Budinger. Screened by Ellis. Stuckey setting the pick for Ellis. 6 to shoot. Budinger with it. He has 6. Dunleavy's shot is off.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down, try to get some easy ones.
Stuckey outside. Passes it to Dunleavy. Near the three-point line, it's Ellis. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Gibson's got 4 rebounds in this game.
He just has not been able to get into that groove yet, guys, but as a whole, it hasn't affected them too much.
Allen's checked in for Indiana. And the Bulls making a change here as well. Mahimi's checked in. Clarkson kicks to Mirotic. There's a good screen. Gibson against Allen. A shot by Clarkson, no good. Pacers leading by 4. Stuckey dishes to Dunleavy. Turner passes to Budinger. Stuckey right side. Indiana needs to get a shot off. Here's Turner. Not really his range, and it's off target. Bulls trail by 4. Feeds it to Mirotic, and he banks in the layup. Mirotic has got 6.
Oh, and look at how well he led him in there. Really, he passed him open for that deuce.
Stuckey outside. They set the pick. Turner with a screen for Stuckey. Trying to get back on track. Good on the shot. Stuckey's got his second bucket of the night.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Clarkson kicks to Miles. Now the pass to Mahimi. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. And for C.J. Miles, he sure can string together a long line of threes under the league with a nice jump shot that has now become deadly.
Yeah, he doesn't get to the free throw line much, and he's not really much of a playmaker, but he's 3D in color. HD 3D.
Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Turner. and Miles drops them both.
And talking about C.J. Miles, he was filthy last year. Indiana needed his spark offensively, especially without Paul George in the lineup. Miles responded by putting up career highs in points and minutes played. Just an unbelievable impact on the season.
Early on, he tried to shoot his way out of this funk, but later in the game now, he might want to just give it up and look for his teammates to do the scoring.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
And for most every team out there, guys, they're looking for a guy like C.J. Miles. Decent size, natural movement skills, and can absolutely shoot the lights out. Call him buckets, because that's a lethal formula. Not a bad look for him on that shot, but it just doesn't seem to be his night tonight.
No good from Gibson. The Pacers shooting from the field, 44%, not bad. Three-pointer, no good. And it's Chicago the other way. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Clarkson with the ball. He's picked up by Hill for the lead. Mirotic's shot is off. Al Budinger, 6 points for him. Here's Stuckey, drops it in from 14 feet away. Stuckey's got 7.
Textbook, nice pass, great catch, even better finish.
He got it up, and no good trying to get that one. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Indiana out in front. They lead by 2. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return. All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. Chicago trailing here on the court for the Bulls, getting this fourth quarter started. Rose is the 1 with Butler as the 2. Pau Gasol is out there with Andre Drummond, and it's Wright in at the small forward. Gasol, yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got 5 assists tonight. Gasol's gotten 4 of his 7 shots to go. Hill dishes to Stuckey. The feed to Allen. Pick up by Hill. It's Allen with the drive. An easy layup after coming off the pick.
Vital basket there. This is just the time and really just the situation when he looks to take over.
Hill against Rose. To the inside. A wide open look for Gasol. Gets it to drop, and now he's shooting at a 5 for 8 clip.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Great ball movement.
We played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. Here's Allen. A beautiful reverse layup. And the Pacers lead by 2.
That's as good as it gets right there. Beautiful reverse layup in traffic.
Rose passes to Gasol. There's a screen. Drummond a screen. And it's Rose penetrating. 5 on the clock. Plenty of daylight on that shot. That's 12 points for Pau Gasol.
Boy, he's having a great half here. Exactly the opposite of the first.
Hill kicks to George. Pick up by Hill. Hill dishes to Stuckey. Some nice passing here by Indiana. And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. Great opportunity for a three-point play. The Pacers making a switch here. Ellis is checked in. Free throw good. Paul George.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
No misses yet. You can't do much better than that, guys.
Rose kicks to Drummond. And Allen with the block. And it's Hill. That time the assist by George. George has got 4 assists now tonight.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
That's got to be job number 1 right now. Nothing easy on the inside. And he's just going all out to get the second chance points. Just a terrific finish.
There was no one that was going to prevent MGA from converting that one.
Well, clearly this is the kind of game that could come down to 1 or 2 plays, and he wants to be the guy to make those plays.
Here's Ellis. The Bulls getting the bucket. Leaps for it, and out of bounds as Chicago gains possession. Bulls trail by 3. And here's Rose. Right side Gasol. Back to Rose. Drummond a screen. Gasol's in the post. Hill's there. No good from Gasol. The Pacers have gone an outstanding 4 of 5 from the field in the fourth quarter so far. Allen a screen on Rose. Hill passes to Ellis. Pick up by Hill. Ellis can't get it to go. Rose against Hill. Rose kicks to Drummond. He dishes it to Wright. There's the pick. Pass to Butler. Shot clock at 6. Hill against Gasol. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Pacers leading by 3. George with the ball. Now Wright defending. Hill dishes to Ellis. That doesn't go either for Ellis.
Well, it's just been one of those kind of games for him.
They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Now, here is George. Jimmy Butler unable to get his last shot to go. Now here's Wright. Butler on the wing to tie it up. Offensive rebound. And it's Drummond with the jam.
And the second chance becomes a dunk. We could feel over here.
GA, such a good, aggressive play in the paint.
Guys, it's all about persistence on the offensive glass. You just can't ever give up on a play.
Timeout called the Pacers.
We know Andre Drummond is an elite rebounder. So many 20-plus rebound games. He just gobbles up rebounds like very few in the league do.
And the Pacers with possession here. They lead by 1. Allen a screen on Wright. The 3 from George. Falls right in. He is 8 for 11 with that shot.
He had 1 in the first as well. He can be dangerous. Keep an eye on him.
Bulls have gone 5 of 11 from the field in the fourth quarter. Rose passes to Drummond. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. 14 points for Andre Drummond. Indiana's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. And George, here we go. Gasol with the defensive effort.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Now here's Rose. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
And really, he epitomizes what a point guard should be. I mean, his skills as a passer might actually be matched by that creativity he shows around the rim.
Well, judging by that jam, Greg, I'd say you're absolutely right.
Boy, that's a nice surge for them just when they needed it in a game that was so tight.
And so it's Indiana with it after the Bulls pick up 2. And yes, sir, that one drops. 15 points for Hill.
That coverage is just too weak. I mean, heading down the stretch, that sort of defensive lapse can cost you a game.
To the middle, here's Drummond. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A 3-point play chance here.
Derrick Rose possesses a great skill set, ball handling, passing, and understanding of how to score. First rookie to ever win the All-Star Weekend Skills Challenge.
Free throw, no good for Drummond. Getting back to Rose, it's his extraordinary handle that allows him to get anywhere on the floor. Such confidence in the way he dribbles and drives, whether it's getting up in a position to set up a teammate, taking himself. He's the one very best at controlling that ball.
It's a great point. I mean, guys like D. Rose, Chris Paul, Steph Curry, Kyrie, they all have to maximize that skill. I mean, the thing that separates him and puts him in that Russell Westbrook category is the pure physical strength. When healthy, he's able to play with it.
Now, here is George. Jimmy Butler unable to get his last shot to go. To take the lead, trying to find right. He's got it now. The 17-footer. Rose, no good.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Hill kicks to Allen. Fires from 14. Good. The assist goes to Hill. Hill's got assist number 8 here in this one already. The Bulls have gone 8 of 16 from the field in the fourth, exactly 50%. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Beyond the arc. Rose, no good.
Not a shot he should have taken in the face of such tough defense. He needed to get a better look.
George dishes to Allen. Hill passes to Hill. It's back to Hill from outside the arc, and he gets it to go. And now a 5-point Pacer lead.
They've stepped up their three-point shooting game in the second half. They're letting it fly out there with reckless abandon.
Not lacking in confidence, and I really like that. Sometimes you see teams get conservative once they get a lead, playing not to lose.
And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
And there was a question of whether or not Derrick Rose would be able to get back to his former self. At times last season, you could see him back in that MVP form.
Ellis against Butler from 13. Here's Hill. And Gasol sends it back. And they're able to recover. Hill kicks to George. There's the pick. Dishes it to Allen. It's Hill on the wing, defended by Butler. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
That's some grit and determination in the post. Essential qualities to have late in a close game.
Exactly. This is the time to attack on the interior and convert those easy opportunities.
Chicago calls timeout.
Yeah, it looks like he saw some things out there that need to be adjusted, and going to take a break here and talk it over.
Hey, you know, coaches sometimes need a break in the action to rethink and retool a bit. Anytime you're in that situation, it makes sense to use the timeout.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Well, Kevin, I was able to listen in on what the head coach of the Chicago Bulls was going over in his huddle. He is not happy with their perimeter defense, saying, guys, way too many open shots for them beyond the three-point line. We've got to press up closer and try to crowd them off the arc. Guys, we'll see if they got the message.
And George kicks to Hill. The screen. Allen, a screen on Rose. 4 on the shot clock. Deep 2 from Hill. And that one comes up a bit short. Bulls trail by 5. Pass to Butler. No luck. Ellis with some nice D. Indiana's gotten off 4 three-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. And it's George finishing it off.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
Now here's Rose. Gasol a screen. It's stolen by Hill. To the inside. Outside for George. A 3-ball. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on LaVoy Allen. That'll be his second foul of the game. Well, he holds the reins to this team, and we're seeing some examples, guys.
And that's the kind of take-charge leadership that every team desperately needs. Loose D here. Critical stretch. I mean, you better off sending him to the free throw lines than to have him get that good a look.
Ellis with it. And Rose picks him up defensively. Screen by Ellis. Allen passes to Hill. 5 to shoot. Back to Allen. Gasol with the defensive effort.
Now that's terrific defense at the rim. Got right in his path.
And you know they'll be conscious of him next time they take it inside, too. I mean, that's what really good defenders do. They make you think about their presence. I can't figure out, guys, what's going on with him this quarter. I mean, he hasn't gotten one shot to drop.
Hill dishes to Ellis. Looking to get it going. And the layup is good. Ellis has got the lead up to 7 now for the Pacers.
Not phased at all by having a bigger defender on him down low. And I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation. But, well, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Rose kicks to Butler. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
Indiana leading by 5. Ellis outside. Some solid defense from Butler. Chicago has gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Rose goes in. Drummond off target at the rim. Indiana's gone 2 of 5 on three-point shots since the end of the third quarter.
There's been a change in his game compared to what we saw in the first half. I mean, he's scoring with a lot of confidence now.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. They're down by 7. There's 48 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Chicago with the ball. They trail by 7. It's stolen by Hill. Outside Hill. He feeds it to Ellis. And Butler sends it back.
Well, the comeback hopes are out the window now. I think it's safe to say.
Yeah, it's a done deal. It's wrap time for this group.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Hill, no good. The dish now to Drummond. A wide open look here for Wright. It's in! And now they trail by just 4. There's 10 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
You know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
Sure, it's not over. The clock is as much a problem for them as the score is right now, so they've got to try to manage it.
He drops the first one, and that puts them up by 5. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 6-point ball game.
And that's exactly how you close a game out. Those free throws will bury them for sure.
Chicago calls timeout. They trail by 6. 8 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what do you think?
And they still got a little time to play with, so a 3 and a quick foul could make things interesting.
Yeah, but they need some help. They're going to need some help any way you look at it. I mean, they're hoping for some missed free throws at the other end.
And I bet you'll never see too many guys who can put forth an effort on the boards like this one, Clark.
Yeah, as a former outstanding rebounder myself, I can certainly appreciate what this guy is doing. An extraordinary combination of talent and desire.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hey y'all, Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome back for the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, George Hill. Double figures in both points and assists for the double-double that led the way tonight. He was their motor offensively and really got the team fired up.
Just a sensational performance on a lot of levels, Ernie. Too many levels to talk about. Man, in some game, he's in the background. He doesn't get the chance to be the star of the show. But not tonight. He's the star tonight. Put him on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
His work distributing the basketball was tremendous. Always had his head up, looking to create easy shots for his teammates. It motivates your team when a guy's passing like that. Makes them run lanes faster, cut to the basketball faster, and then that results in success.
And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. For me and Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.